Moving on to our next story. Last September, 20 young adults from across South Sudan took part in a National Geographic photo camp. They are among hundreds of students from around the world who have learned how to use a camera to tell the stories of their people.
VOA's Julie Taboh talked with 3 of the camp participants recently when they visited National Geographic headquarters in Washington. Here's a look at her report and what she told On Assignment's Lisa Vohra about the experience.
The images have captured single moments in time of family bonds and friendship, work and community, love and survival. They were taken by young photographers who participated in special photo camps set up by National Geographic in communities around the world. This program is unique because Kirsten, who is in the segment, decided around 2003 that, why not give training and put cameras in the hands of youth, usually in underprivileged communities, to go out and document their own communities, the people in their communities, tell their stories through photographs.
Joining the photo camp meant a lot to me because it gave me a sense of thinking about photo in a very different way. The news gives a small perspective of the wide picture of what South Sudan is. Humanizing the life in South Sudan is what my heart wants to do, and through my camera I can easily do that.
These photographs are beautiful. I mean, I can't believe that young adults actually shot these photos. Tell me about Catherine and what inspires her and how she gets these amazing pictures, especially the one of the kid crying.
Well, one of the reasons these pictures were so successful and were so well received by everyone was because it really focused on the people in these communities that these young adults are from. And so she found this one little boy crying, and she was intrigued by that, and she started photographing him. And you would think, okay, it's an orphanage, there are going to be a lot of sad kids, and he was crying. But it turns out he was crying over a toy that he wanted that he couldn't have. Just like any other young boy who maybe would cry over a toy that's broken or a toy that he hasn't had.
All the kids have their own story to tell. The second one that you interviewed, he took a picture of a kickboxer with shorts on with both the flag of South Sudan and the flag of the United States. Could you tell me a little bit more about the story behind that?
Sure. And so Doku, who was one of the participants in the South Sudan camp, who was in Washington, was intrigued by that. And he came to find out later that it was because he and the others believed so much that the United States was a huge supporter of independence for South Sudan, which is the newest country. It's only 3 years old. And gained its independence in 2011. And he said it was very symbolic. Doku says documenting the kickboxers was also a way to show local youth that there are alternatives to a life of violence.
Our young boys, these days have joined conflict, they have joined military wings, to join military to fight their own brothers. And it's important to bring them together in peace and harmony. They fight for peace.
One common theme definitely has been there's just more to South Sudan than just war. And these kids really took it upon themselves to show it to the world through these pictures. The last kid, he was a refugee camp survivor, so it's very emotional for him. Very emotional, and I think and there must have been some reasoning as to who got assigned what, but it just happened to be that Akwat is was a refugee himself in Kenya for many years. And so when he went into this refugee camp, he could really identify with the subjects that he was photographing.
I grew up as a refugee in a refugee camp, northern Kenya. And when I went there, it reflects back to how I was, and my soul was with them.
And he did a series of amazing photographs of young people, old people, and what struck him, he said that even though it was a refugee camp and he would expect to find a lot of despair, he went down to a local watering hole, actually the River Nile, and said that he found these 3 girls swimming, and they were happy and laughing and splashing each other, and he said, I wanted to capture that photograph because they, to me, were the symbol of hope. If you were just to look at these, you'd think, oh, these are National Geographic photographers. They're beautifully composed, whether it was a refugee camp, whether it was a soccer tournament, a kickboxing tournament, just document it. And I think that's one of the reasons the program's been so successful and so inspiring.
It is very important to show a picture and tell a story about it.